at Fairfield Lanes. Sharp up on the left-hand lane, and he turns it.
He won the roll-off this morning against Tom Atkins.
And he gets the love tap there for the strike.
Got a little bit of a break there, going a little bit wide and getting a good pin action, though, as Tim Sharp normally seems to do somehow, Jeff.
Fairfield Lanes, of course, is owned by Bud Boskin, Boskin, and his beautiful wife, Robin Boskin, a former Bengal.
And that's a
Riga Kalfas.
Yeah, weak shot deflecting. George, before the match started, I went down to talk to Riga, and he said if there's one thing he's happy about, he does not have to finish on the right-hand lane. Now, for the folks at home, all the lanes are identical. They are dressed the same, but due to the fact they're made out of wood, and wood has different characteristics, certain lanes play differently, and Riga's ball will not finish as hard on the right-hand lane as the left-hand lane. So we'll see if that pans out throughout the match.
Can that almost work as a psych job against him, though, if he starts worrying about that?
Not the fact that you have to worry about it, George, but it's something you have to consider. In this very complicated game of bowling at this level, you have to take all those considerations into effect, like a golfer. He may be a great sand player, but there's different types of sand he can play out of. In bowling, equipment can change, your release can change, your speed can change. Well, talk about a speed change.
Super shot.
He went with maximum revolutions. Let's take a look at it on the replay. We've got throttle up, as they say on the liftoff for the shuttle. Throttle up, he goes for all of it. Riga, being an animated player, not much reaction, but the reaction is at 60 feet away. And look at this shot here. Love tap 10, but not to be.
Tim Sharp up in the second frame, working on a strike.
Once again, our BPA members coming out in full force. We have Mike McDonald from Stunts. We have Irv Hoinke from Western Bowl, Jerry Bettinghouse, and Gary Rolfus. And
they're all here.
All here to see some fine bowling. Sharp with the spare in the second. And it's a tie match. Of course, Kalfas working on the strike in the third, and Sharp here working on the spare.
George, again, I don't want to be repetitious, but I have an opportunity because of bowling in tournaments around the country, and being on a tour a decade ago now. I hate to bring that up, but I've seen every bowling show in every city in this country, and you know what? Our viewers in this town make our show the best show by a quantum leap above anything else that we have, and we're proud to have you a part of this season. Again,
Indeed.
welcome.
I'm more than happy to be here. Looking forward to seeing some fine bowling all season long.
And that's a guarantee.
Or as we used to say last year, we guarantee. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's some more of Dave's accents coming
There,
out.
I'll tell you, they get better. Trust me.
They all sound like Inspector Clouseau, though. Riga Kalfas up in the third.
Left leg. Let's see if he can get the ball to finish on the right-hand lane. Oh my! Did he? He went with the blue ball. Let's look at it on the replay. The blue ball, as you pointed out in your Sports Extra a couple weeks ago, George, will finish harder. Here we go. He gets a great extension on this. Look at this ball churn up. Oh, right there in the pocket. 1-2 annihilated. 10 in the pit.
That is
Everything doing its job,
there it
George.
is.
Everything doing its job.
Last week we were talking about how important it is to be down at the line and solid, and Riga just is the epitome of that.
Riga now working on that double in the fourth frame.
Really going with a lot of speed here, Jen. Riga Kalfas is a very deliberate player, and if you recall a couple of years ago, ladies and gentlemen, he took an inordinate amount of time on the approach. I'm not claiming credit for it, but we did make a suggestion that if you speed up your game, you have fewer seconds to make mistakes, and really turned it into a good thing for him. He's picking up his pace and he's making better shots. Tim Sharp, on the other hand, if we can see it here on the replay, the ball is going to skid out. See that side-to-side roll? That's never going to strike for you, and if it is, it's a fluke. 2-4-5. Jen, again, your way of shooting this is across lane. Let's take a look at Tim Sharp's
And of
area.
course, across the lane.
See, now Tim shoots it your way.
But there is much more possibility for a chop going across the lane rather than shooting it the way that Dave does, from the left.
Score shows you that Riga Kalfas has a definite advantage with 2 strikes working in the 3rd and 4th frame. Tim Sharp, however, never, ever a guy you want to count out. He's been in our finals 5 times, and he's been our end-of-the-year king 1 of those 5 times.
Excellent.
Oh, my. The 8-10.
8-10, bad break for anybody. It only happens when you hit the pocket, and it only happens if the pin is off spot or you throw a shot that deflects. This shot goes to the right. See the 5 pin go in front of the 8. That's the one in the middle of your screen. The 6 pin goes around the 10. A good shot, a bad break, and Tim Sharp is definitely under the gun early in this match.
In the 5th frame, he already finds himself in some serious trouble, especially the way Mr. Kalfas has been stroking the ball here.
Out at Fairfield Lanes, and we're going to be back out here for qualifying next week for the King at Gilmore Lanes, which also is on Route 4 in Fairfield, starting at 9 a.m. on Sunday and Saturday, or rather Sunday at 10:30 and Saturday at 9 a.m.
So get out there and qualify.
Or you can't be here
Kalfas,
to do things like that.
a 4-bagger.
Riga Kalfas developed the following several years ago when he was continually on. I don't know if it says on the sheet there or not, Jim, but I think he was on like 6 or 7.
8 times in 88.
8 continual weeks, and talk about a following, George. People came out to root him on, cheer him on, to show that, you know, baseball's getting the same way. You know, Bo knows football, Bo knows baseball. Well, a 5'8" guy knows bowling. And Riga Kalfas is it.
He's
and
only
I think
22
he knows,
years old.
And I think he knows diddly, too.
Oh, bad break.
5-10.
Exceptionally
That is a
bad break. The pin actually started to go down, and then the messenger pin coming off the wall stood it right back up. Bad break. Riga is looking at the pins. You can see that the pin has actually been moved backwards by the movement, which increases the difficulty of making this spare.
Good point.
Riga Kalfas, Jen, you and I have had this bad break too, and people have asked, do you have the opportunity of re-spotting the pins? No. If the pin spotter puts them back down and they stand up,
He got it.
great shot. Great shot.
5-10, textbook
You
style.
do not get them put back. Here is Riga Kalfas putting on a spare shooting school, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee this is the way to do it. 5 into the 7. That's about as perfect as you can be. Look at that emotion. Wow.
Taking advantage of a bad break is a good thing to do, because it could get you down instead. Riga comes right back with the spare.
Tim Sharp, right away, right behind him, answers the call with an absolutely perfect strike. No deflection here. Watch this ball roll through the pocket. 5 goes straight back, takes out the 8, and the 9 pin is annihilated. We've got a messenger pin, but nobody to answer to.
Nevertheless, Tim Sharp's still in a lot of trouble now. 41 pins through 5. But has the double.
As we go to the score, we can see that Tim Sharp is in trouble, but he's not out of here. He's got a double working in the 6th and 7th frame, open in the 5th with 87. He's got a lot of pins to make up, but we got a lot of paper left.
Of course, every week the women do qualify for the finals and also get a top prize of $200. I talked about Robin Boskin before. She had a fine score of 713 this week to win the top prize.
That is chopping some wood.
That's short.
Kalfas with the strike. He is putting together a game.
Okay, we're going to trip out the 6. Keep your eyes on the second pin from the right-hand side of your screen. The head pin's going to go right back, shoot the 3-pin to the wall, whirlybird out, take the 6-pin out late. It was either the 3 or the head pin. Even in slow motion, sometimes it's hard to see how Riga strikes. but he's one of the greatest, George.
He gets it done.
Gets it done. And talk about a fine individual, Riga Kalfas. Can't say enough nice about him. His father supports him all the time.
And his wife, Shelley, around all the time. As a matter of fact, it was real cute because Riga put on his sheet he's been married to Michelle for 1 year and 10 months. He's still counting the months, so we thought that was really sweet. Shelley, she's a sweet gal and comes every week out to watch.
I don't know about you, George. I count decades of marriage.
I'm about to that point. Oh, Dave, you get me in trouble every time.
Yes, Sandy, I love you dearly. Looks like a good shot here.
Right.
Absolutely. Now watch, you want to see something? This is interesting. 7, 9 will be the 2 last pins down. 7, the left-hand part of your screen. The 9, middle back row. Watch. Go slow. Go slow. 7, 9. What are we looking at? Yeah, but they're out of here. Sometimes you're going to leave that shot, Jen, and I've seen you leave it several times. You throw a great shot, George, and you pay a penalty for it. In bowling, that's what keeps the interest up.
A 4-bagger for Sharp now.
We told you, don't count him out.
That's right. He's clawing right back in this thing.
I just saw him throw some rosin in Riga's thumb hole. I think he's pulling out all the stops now.
What would Tim think if he knew you were accusing him of that?
Everybody knows
nothing
I'm
funny
teasing.
happened.
Okay, you just want to clear that up for you, pal.
Just teasing. These two guys are good friends. They're very good competitors. But let me tell you what, when you're on the lanes and you're bowling, oh no.
Tim Sharp is back in this match.
Oh no, Riga Kalfas lets him in. He cuts the shot a little short. Watch it right here. Not the full extension we're used to. See the arm come up a little early. Ball rolls off sharply. Takes the head pin straight back. 3-pin goes to the right-hand wall. 2-pin goes to the channel, which normally would take out the 7. Not the case here. Take 1 pin, Riga. 1
For
pin
sure.
could win your match.
That's exactly what he does. So he will be up in the 10th with that open frame in the 9th. Meanwhile, Tim Sharp working on that 4-bagger.
Ladies
This
and
is going to be tight.
George, it could be tight. As a matter of fact, Tim Sharp could win this game if he strikes in the 10th, 11th, and 12th frames. He will shut out Riga Kalfas.
So he's got the match in his hands at the moment.
Riga's job is to just throw strikes, put as many points on the board as possible, but Tim Sharp is not shut out no matter what Riga Kalfas does.
But he could be in the pressure cooker.
Oh, no.
A solid
no.
9-10.
That is
That's
a
a
tough
shame.
one. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if we can see what happens. This ball is so strong, it's going to just miss the 9-pin to the left. Watch as it cuts through the pocket, deflects a little. Now look at the clearance between the ball and the 9. It couldn't have been a 1/16 of an inch. Little groan there as you see, you hear him shoot the 9-pin. That would have made it a lot more difficult to for Tim Sharp to come through. But again, Tim Sharp has his destiny in his own hands. With a strike, Riga Kalfas could finish with 224.
Sharp still looking at a possible 237 if he strikes out.
Fill ball, very, very important. You never know when you're going to need that extra pin.
But he takes them all and finishes with a 224. Now it's up to Tim Sharp.
The plot thickens.
Sharp on a string of 4 straight strikes coming into the 10th frame.
Okay, with a 9 spare strike, he can win by 1. Oh, there you go. There you go. The tough break for the 9-pin before. Watch this ball. It's going to go to the left-hand side of the 9-pin. There you see it, and it doesn't even touch it, but a pin coming off the wall, and I didn't catch it, takes out the 9 late. Tim Sharp is going to move on, barring hitting his ankle or throwing one in the ditch, to game number 2. What a player Tim Sharp is. He never, ever quits.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is
Oh,
right.
That's the possibility of a tie now. Well, no,
He
he's
needs to
lost
pick this
because
up.
he's got
He's
an
history.
unmakeable
My bad,
split.
folks.
Unmakeable.
Score sheet that I'm keeping track of. Once
Yeah.
again, well, it only took 2 weeks for me to make
That's
a mistake
okay.
in the score.
That's too bad for Tim Sharp.
The only thing that could have happened took him down 223 to 224. Riga Kalfas sneaks by in match number 1. We'll be right back with match number 2. What a game.